sir. You already know it here right now, man. It's the Raxks and Studa podcast. And you saw that intro, man. We got the lovely one and only Ruby Durham in the building for episode 25, man. So y'all enjoy this. Sit back and listen, man. Let's go.
Yo, man. What is good with y'all, man? Y'all already know in this bitch, man. It's your boy Studa from the Raxks. My boy Raxks here. Y'all don't know, but Raxks here, man. He doing another job right now. He not on a podcast. He behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? But this is a crazy edition. As y'all can see, this is probably the best quality. You know what I'm saying? The best pod we've had. You know what I'm saying, man? Because this is we got a crazy guest, man. We got the one and only Ruby Durham, and pause the beat. We got the one and only Ruby Durham in the crib, man. What's good?
Hey. If not Studa, who? If not Studa,
you know what I'm saying,
who?
man? We got Ruby in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you here. Let me give you a round of applause.
I love it.
Yeah, bro. How are you?
I cannot complain at all.
Word.
Just taking life one day at a time and just being grateful and just trying to push myself.
For sure. Hell yeah. We'll get that on. You know what I'm saying? It's a good life.
Yes.
And let's get into it, man.
Okay.
You made the choice to walk away from successful on-camera TV news career, including Emmy-nominated work, to forging your own path in music, fashion, storytelling, and entrepreneurship. What was the most difficult part of that leap, and what did you learn about yourself in that process?
The most difficult point in the leap is really still alive today, and that is just betting on myself. And a lot of people say, like, bet on yourself. Even I say, bet on yourself. But I think the hardest part about that is, how do I bet on myself when things aren't going my way? Or how do I bet on myself with small resources? How do I bet on myself and have faith when I'm not sure the path, but I feel it and I see it, but it's a little foggy right now. So I think the hardest part is just trusting myself, trusting those who are around me, who fuel me to keep going, and just taking the risk even when it looks crazy. Like, it's hard to take risks, but my spirit tells me and pushes me to do it anyway, and things usually unravel after that.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. I feel like me myself need to hear that just for the pod, you know what I'm saying? Just for what me and Raxks doing, just stepping out there and going for it, because we want to do stuff that, you know, not typical podcasts do. So we want to step outside the barrier. So we definitely need to hear that for sure.
You have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get in your head and you overthink, like, I don't have this or I don't have that, or we want it to look this way. But in my experience so far, things start to unravel when you take a step. When you put something together like this, like, you didn't know what you were going to walk into today, but when people see you working, or when people see you just executing, even if it's a small vision, they're like, oh, I got this. Or, oh, have you heard about this? So just taking that step, even when it's like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, usually something or somebody is going to come your way and help you be excited about taking the next risk.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. Shit, man. Having held the title Miss North Carolina or America in 2022, you used that platform for the advocacy, especially around breast cancer awareness. How did you experience and shape your approach in that community and the impact of that story? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My experience in pageants came from me as a young girl doing it. In high school, I did all the pageants. My mom put me in pageants, and it lives with me today, because people think it's just a beauty contest, but they sharpen your skills in interviewing. They put you on stage in front of people so you can build confidence in terms of public speaking and stage presence, and just the poise and polish that they give you is really tools that I take in other opportunities today.
Yeah.
And so that experience, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love pageants. I love competing in pageants. I love seeing the women out there, because even no matter how beautiful they look, no matter what they have on, they are really taking a bet on themselves to put themselves in front of so many people and against other girls.
Yeah.
But I think the most rewarding thing about the experience of pageants is the sisterhood. Believe it or not, that pageant I ended up competing Miss USA after that. And I didn't place at all in the Miss USA pageant, but I say it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I started my podcast because of the faith of one of the contestants.
Hell yeah.
We were just talking while we were getting ready, and I was like, she was like, what do you do now? And I was like, I really want to start this podcast. And she just kind of like laid it out how I would start it. And so I would say I credit her a lot, because she even helped me make money and turning ad space within the podcast into revenue. And I wouldn't have thought about that unless I, bumped shoulders with someone who was betting on themselves in the same moment I was.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's what's up. Being in the right room.
Yeah.
Being in the right room and meeting the right people, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you what's what I'm trying to say? Make sure you network and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And just show up, because other people, whatever it took you to show up, there's somebody else who it took them 10 times more just to show up. So in that moment, I was very thankful. And in terms of breast cancer awareness, my mom passed away to breast cancer right before my senior year of high school.
Right.
And so not only do I try to advocate as much as I can, I still learn about what breast cancer is and how it could affect me, because I was her child. I will always be a supporter of it, just because it is something that has happened in my family numerous of times. And again, I'm just a girl who's learning, what that means for me.
Word. Yeah, I'm throw the horn for that. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And for like with beauty pageants, is it kind of like we had another guest on here, Natalie. She does modeling and stuff, and she was kind of explaining how it's very like in that field when you do the walkway, it's very like fast paced. Like the outfits got to be ready. The guy that's letting the girls walk, like all that stuff has to be like quick. Is the pageant's pretty much the same?
Yeah, think of it like a performance. If we were performing, we had to get, like we were just talking, the show mix ready. We have to rehearse. Every piece of the band has a part.
Okay.
Even if you have a lead singer, everybody has a part to play for it to be a well-oiled machine. So I look at as the pageant as the same thing. When it's showtime, everybody has a part to play. And if you have a certain time frame for that performance, then we want to make sure we knock out all the things that, we created or had a vision for a great performance. And so the same thing with pageants. It seems fast paced, but there's just an outline, and you have to go through evening wear, you have to go through swimsuit, you have to go through interview questions, and it's just another way of performing.
Word. Okay. Yeah. You host Ruby's Roundtable and produce content that blends creative with honest conversations about growth. How do you balance vulnerability with leadership when you're speaking on topics that are personal?
I'm still learning to become more vulnerable. I think the audience that I'm creating or speaking to, they deserve that. And I'm fine with letting that unfold how it needs to in front of the camera, because I don't want to come off as someone who knows it all. Yeah. And I was just telling someone on another interview, she asked me, she was like, what is the hardest part about putting myself out there? And I say, from my experience on the news, you had to be, and pageants, I guess you can say, you have to be polished. You have to come off a certain way. And I think even though I've stepped away from that, it's still in me to come off, very poised, polished, and structured. But when people are seeing you take a leap of faith, they need to see that vulnerability. They need to see, how is it happening? How are you doing this? So I'm working and fighting against what I've always known, and then now taking a leap of faith into music and performing, throwing that away and just showing like the blank canvas and talking to people who are either experts or know something about something and saying, hey, I don't know about this, but can you let me know? Or saying, hey, y'all, I had a performance and y'all, I did not do well, but this is how I'm going to do better next time.
Yeah.
So the vulnerability is something that I'm really just working on, but Ruby's Roundtable, I just hope that it becomes a platform to where, when we perform together or we have a performance together, we can be able to sit down and say, okay, how did that feel? Like that is my goal, like doing a creative project with people, and then we come back and live podcast, like what went right, what went wrong, and then we do it again. So that is the goal. But right now I'm just bringing on guests who are experts or who can give me tips and tricks on, how to be great.
Word, hell yeah. That's what's up. One day Raxks and Studa gotta make their way through the, you know what I'm saying?
Yay.
Feel me?
Yes.
But where did music like come in through your life? Where did that, like, when did music come into your life?
When I was younger, I grew up in the church, singing in the church. I was the young girl who loved going to church with my aunties, and I was singing in the choir. And it's fun fact, not only did I sing in the choir, I also played the drums.
Word?
And
That's cold. I gotta throw the horn for that.
I also played the drums.
That's crazy.
I literally was just remembering my mom pushed me so much. She really pushed me in music, acting, dancing, and pageants before she passed away.
Okay.
And so that was just our life. I did a lot of talent shows. I was in a repertory theater in my community where we just performed at different events around the area. And that is just what it was. And when I was in high school, I played the viola. So I just love music. Like even singing, I just love the feel of music and the freedom that it gives and the expression that it can give you. But when she passed away, it was just us. And so when she passed away, I didn't have the confidence to do it. So I focused on college, and that's what got me on the news. Word. And when I competed in the Miss North Carolina for America in 2022, one of the judges asked, he said, "You're not even from Charlotte." He said, "You're from South Carolina." I had eligibility to compete in the North Carolina pageant, but he said, "What is something people don't know about you in Charlotte?" And I said that I know how to sing. And he just spoke some encouraging words. And I literally did karaoke that weekend of the pageant at the pageant. We were in Vegas. So we're out there gambling. And I just said, just do it, Ruby. Just try. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to get in the studio. And I manifested it so much so that Jay Stacks ended up reaching out to me.
Yeah, shout out Jay Stacks.
Ended up reaching out to me on social media from the clip from the karaoke that I posted, and he was like, "Oh, you've been holding back. Who knew this?" And I said, "Well, I just been scared, and I didn't know how to do it. Like I just didn't know." Long story short, I put myself out there, and that's what got me in the studio, just by posting on social media and just starting. Even no matter how crazy it felt, it was so uncomfortable. Oh, it was so uncomfortable, but just starting.
Yeah. So, like, you can say that was, like, the moment where you wanted to be an artist, where you found out, like, I want to be an artist.
I just have the mindset of if I'm going to do something, that I need to know everything about it. Okay. And then I need to know, how do I really be great? Because I'll start something just to get a feel of it and to see, does this make sense for me? But if it makes sense for me, then it's like, okay, Ruby, we can't be playing, with money or time and even collaborations. Like, I don't want to just go in the studio and just be playing around. Now it's like, how can we make something really good? And I know I'm gonna get better, but I'll get better with every song. But how can I make sure I'm not playing around my time or the people that I'm collaborating with? So. At that point, it just, after a few dollars spent in the studio, after putting myself out there, it's like, girl, like, if you're going to do it, then do it. So now I'm thinking of, well, okay, do you just want to sing? No, like, I want to dance and I want to perform. Yeah. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, y'all go check all that stuff out, man. Wrong button. Y'all go check all that stuff out, man. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is fire.
Thank you.
And I think I got one on there. You know, if not you,
Who?
feel me? Yeah,
If
man.
not you, who?
Y'all go stream that. Y'all go stream that. You've worked across journalism, podcasting, music, fashion design, all that, man. Y'all stop playing Ruby. But how do you decide which creative path to pursue next, and what ties all those passions together for you?
I would say I am creating a brand where music, fashion, and production all intertwine. So if I lead with music, then okay, what does this song feel like? What is the visual for the song? And then after that, it goes into, well, you have to have a look. What does this look like? And so if I'm thinking the business mind plus the creativity, where it's like, okay, I don't want to just sell you a song. I want to put a whole thing together so I can get to a point where I'm able to direct a whole production around the music, and then the fashion either comes from merch around that experience or an actual outfit that I would hope other artists, upcoming artists, or women who are building a brand, even if they're not in the industry, they know I'm asking, if not you, who is going to take that leap of faith, and they feel like that fashion is going to be their armor of confidence. So I just think it intertwines by me putting all the things together. The music is how I want you to feel. That's my vulnerability with you. The fashion is how I walk into that room. And then the production is the storytelling that I've learned through the news. I'm just putting it in a different way.
Hell yeah, that's fire. Yeah. So horn for that. That's a fire answer. For real. But a lot of people only see the title and the finished work, but not the journey behind it. What's one challenge you faced that changed how you define success? That's how you know it's a good question.
Yeah, my ability to turn something out of nothing.
Word.
And that is something that people don't see, and is something that I'm totally open to talk about as it is appropriate. But sometimes I laugh at myself. I don't know how I just did that. I don't know how I did that. Yeah. It was the Lord, and it was just me being stubborn enough to just not give up. But I think just that challenge of literally pinching two pennies together, or like I said in my podcast, If Not You, Who, how that music video was formed. I literally spent the money that I spent on the choreography lessons and the dancers. I DoorDash. I would DoorDash just to make the money to pay for the practices. So those are the challenges that I don't show, but it's like you gave me that beat, and I was like, it made me want to dance. And so I'm like, okay, well, we need somebody to teach us a dance. And then once she started teaching me, she was like, Ruby, you need dancers. And I'm like, okay, somebody got to pay for that. Yeah. So I'm like, literally, I was DoorDashing. I was looking at my tax return. I was like, oh, wow, I pushed myself so much DoorDashing because I really wanted the choreographers to be excited, and also I wanted them to keep coming, and people got to get paid, and so
that's facts.
So that speaks to the challenges that you don't see, but I'm doing it because if not me, who gonna do it?
Yeah, man, that answer deserves one of these right here. You know what I'm saying? That's some real hustle shit right there. Really getting you grinding. You know what I'm saying?
Out there serving the pizzas. Your DoorDash is here.
You know, because a lot of people like to make excuses of why they can't get stuff done. Like they'll just not do it. Like they'll find the easy way out and then make an excuse of why they found the easy way out. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I am going to figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna try my best, and if I gotta get down and gritty and pull my hair back and get out there in the field, baby, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. For sure. Got to. For sure. Yeah, let's get into this last question. You mentor and empower women through my fault. You mentor and empower women through initiatives like If Not You, Who Foundations. What is a message you think every young woman should hear, especially in a world full of pressure to have it all figured out?
A message I think young women need to hear is that you really can do it if you can see it. If you can see it, you can do it. You just have to ask questions.
Yeah.
You have to knock on doors and meet people who are already doing it and put your face out there and just be okay with asking. And I think that's something that I've struggled with, but it's like once you start asking, even if they say no, they might know someone who, hey, try this person or do this or try this way. So I think just knowing that you can do whatever you want to, but you definitely have to ask. You got to put that ego, that pride aside, ask for help, or just be open to having conversations with people just to pick their brain, because you know, I didn't come from money. So it's like, okay, I'm still figuring out, you know, how do you there are people winning grants or free money, or, you know, there are community spaces like this that have resources. How do I get that? So that is, again, putting that pride aside and asking for it and not saying, oh, I don't have this. No. And don't feel like you have to have like designer, or you have to have all the things. Listen, I can make a trip to the Family Dollar, the Dollar Tree, and the Goodwill. You will think that I don't even know what you may think, but you just gotta know how to make it work. Like I can be able to walk into a room and you wouldn't even know, like I just literally thrifted this whole thing, or you know, went to the Dollar Tree and did my 1-2. It's the confidence that you have to know, like, I'm going to get this no matter what, and just figure it out along the way.
Yeah, facts. Hell yeah. I think that's a perfect way to go ahead and wrap that up. You know what I'm saying? That was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for being a part of the podcast.
Yes, thank you for thinking of me.
Another round of applause for my girl Ruby. You know what I'm saying? This won't be the last time.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Next time, my boy Raxks gonna be in here. You feel me? You know, usually before we get out of here, we put folks on the shit that me and Raxks produce. And since we got a wonderful artist in here, what's some shit you want to put the folks on to?
I would say, because you are, you know, now being introduced to me, listen to Small Town Girl by Ruby Durham. It really tells my story. It's very neo-soul vibe, and it's something that, you know, will hopefully allow you to take that bet on yourself too.
For sure, man. So y'all go stream that. Y'all go tap in, man. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go.
Thank you.
My mama raised me to be determined, to walk in every room and own it. To be a star and set the bar for myself, despite who hell. This advice ain't for the weak. To be confident when you ain't had too much to eat, when sometimes you didn't have nowhere to sleep. This is for the small town girl from the country, who knew she'd be something, cause she knew how to turn something out of nothing. She grew up in the projects, in and out of hotels often. But when you see her, she a motherfucking star. Ain't no motherfucking scars. Don't let what happened in your past make you think that you gon' finish last. Take all your tools and use it as fuel to get to the top, and don't stop for nothing, fall for nothing. Reach for the sky, it's a new life that's destined for you. Promise me you'll see it. This is for the small town girl from the country, who knew she'd be something, cause she knew how to turn something out of nothing. She grew up in the projects, in and out of hotels often. Yeah. But when you see her, she a motherfucking star. Ain't no motherfucking scars.
Like, it's 4:30 in the morning and I'm still grinding 10 toes down, cause ain't no sleep for the week, especially not me. But best believe tomorrow I'ma show up, cause if not me, who
Like we didn't grow up with a lot of money, but my mama knew how to do our hair and make sure we dressed nice. But for those those who stare, so shit. Why play fair?
Somebody tell me where to find Raxks.